Okay, I just started the stream. Sorry, guys. This happened to me 3 times the other day.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah, OBS is just like acting up. It's Hopefully we're back in a sec. Fingers crossed. I'll just
I
check.
think we are back.
Okay. So sorry, guys. It might drop out a couple of times, but I'll just like jump right back in. It possibly my computer's really struggling. I've just turned off the music, and hopefully I can still play the visuals. So fingers crossed. I could see then when I switched to the music screen, I was like, it's really struggling today.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Hang on. Twitch is wonky. Yeah, a few people have been having issues with OBS. There is an update that I need to do, so hopefully that'll fix it. Anyway,
Hmm.
let's continue. Hopefully it will just ease back in and we'll be fine.
Yeah. I actually don't remember what I was talking about,
I can't
but
remember either. Let's just. I have another question, so we'll
let's just
just move
keep it
on to the
moving. Yeah.
next question.
Let's just keep it moving, y'all.
You mentioned that you were the musical director for Ms. Lauren Hill for, I think, was it 8 years or so? I'd love to talk to you a little bit about that experience. I've had a very small experience with working with her. It was just 2 shows when she came out to Australia. I talked about it the other
Mm-hmm.
day actually because I had a couple of really weird things happen to my camera. Like literally
Oh,
both times when she walked in the room, something that had never ever happened before, like in 2 separate different occasions. And it
it's
was
just her aura.
it's her aura. Like, so I wanted to talk to you about this. Like, you must have some experiences. Such a big energy that just
She
like,
does. She
yeah,
does. A lot
legit,
of people don't
legit.
know that about her.
Well, I
She's
experienced it
intense.
firsthand. So,
Yeah.
it, and not only from like stuff going wrong with my, like camera gear, but like a physical, because I'm hypersensitive to like vibes, I guess. And it was like,
Hmm.
you can feel it. It's like a tension
Yeah.
in the air or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like really full on. So I'd love to hear like your experience with working with her for so long.
So, I wasn't her musical director. I
Oh,
was
sorry.
actually
Sorry, in
no,
the
no,
on the team. I think you said I got that
yeah.
confused.
So well, I with her, she's definitely a Renaissance artist or a Renaissance intellect, I should say. She's highly educated and probably genius level intelligence.
Mm,
I don't. She's never been formally tested that I know of, but
mm,
she she's definitely forward thinking. So like when I first got brought on to do sound design for drums for her team
mm-hmm.
or for the team, I should say. It was mostly to help Da Vinci, and I was just creating all these drum kits and all this stuff. And then like I started programming, beats and all that stuff because she knew that I did that. And then I started mixing because she then learned that I did that. And then she saw my video work, and she was like, "I want to take you on tour with me, and I want you to shoot behind the scenes." It wasn't like formally or like said that way to me directly, but she basically hinted at it, and then management was just like, "All right, you're coming on the
Cool,
road."
let's go. Yep. Which is, by the way,
Yep.
how these things often happen. Like, for those
Yeah.
who don't know, it's often
Yep.
like super informal. Let's go, possibly no contracts. Like, that's a common story in our industry.
Yep. And um, yeah, that's the thing that like a lot of people talk about just get it like being in the room. Being in
Mm,
the room is all you need. If you have the talent or the capability, even just if you're not the most talented, if you have enough talent, if
yes.
you're in the room, you're going to get the job faster than the most talented person in the world because that person is not there. So that's
1000%.
basically what that comes what that
Relationships.
breaks down to.
Yeah, it
Yep.
does.
It's all
Yep,
about
yep, yep.
it's all about that. So I was already a part of the team, and she brought me along, and I am the first that I know of that shot behind the scenes in that capacity. So I was the director for that. So I was the director for all the behind the scenes stuff, and then as well as still being a part of the music production team and engineering and stuff like that for her.
Mm.
And she's an intense person. She's like when it comes to working, and there's very rarely a time where she's not working. Um, it's it's 0 to 100. like everyone focus, and it's no bullshit. Just get to it. Now, mind you, it's not to say that we didn't have like an ebb and flow to where there was like some downtime, some jokes, stuff like that. I would say between me and her, like we kind of clicked really fast, and
Yep.
it started out really really intense, where like our first solo session together, it was me and her like, you know, talking to each other at the top of our lungs about a very passionate topic, and like I looked up behind me, and like on the like on the second floor, the top balcony, all her kids were like looking down.
Oh wow.
And they were just like, you know, and you know, I then realized that like they've never seen anyone really like you know, have a conversation with her like that, right? And it wasn't
Yeah.
like we weren't mad at each other or nothing like that, but it was just a
Yeah. It's
passionate
like
conversation.
intense. Yep. Yep.
Very very intense, and you know, like she's a super kind, warm, and loving person, and that's the person I got to know. And anytime I've ever worked with her, anytime that we were ever together, she's always taking care of me and everyone around, right?
Yep.
She's super super generous in that way, and but when it comes to working, like she's very candid about it. She's like, I'm not here to play around. Like everyone has to be on point at all times.
Yes.
No downtime of
can
any kind.
sense-
You can't miss a beat.
You can definitely sense that just from like watching her perform and like the way she interacts with the band and all of that stuff. You can see that
Yeah.
there's a level of expectation that is you need to be on all of the time, and that's the lighting guy, that's the sound
Yep.
person, that's all of those things.
Yep.
Like you can that is an expectation. The assistants, like you can see it everywhere. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely I could definitely sense that. And I was saying that we have a mutual friend who actually is her musical director, which is what the confusion that I had.
Oh, yeah.
Iggy, who
Yeah.
does the stuff for her now.
Iggy!
Who I know. Yeah, what up, Iggy?
Shout out, Iggy. You need to get Iggy on here, man.
I know, totally. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Iggy's a dude.
But yeah, it's just, you know, like, and so interesting because I think like she probably gets, because she's a woman, that's like, you know, it's that expectation that women are not like that, and women, you know, that we often pander to other people's expectations, and
Yep.
that we, you know, if other people are telling us something should be a certain way, then we go along with that. And she's just not like that. She's obviously unapologetic, and that can be rare often. So it can take people back, and if there's negative things that go with that, I think that's like super unwarranted. Because like if that was
Yeah.
a dude, that would just be normal to have those.
Yeah. No, nobody would say anything. She would face less scrutiny if she was a man.
Yes. Yeah. I'm
Flat out.
assuming that like Prince or D'Angelo, I'm just trying to think of people I know that were kind of like that super intense. Like you don't hear that about them. It was just like that's their artistry, they're brilliant, they're geniuses and all that sort of stuff. But then there's sometimes a negative connotation around her perfectionism, I guess.
There is, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that she's a woman, she's a black woman,
Yep.
and that's just that's the double-edged sword. I mean, wait, hold on. She's a strong, intelligent black woman.
Yeah.
And,
Triple-edged sword.
She's a threat.
Yep.
So what do you do when I mean, all threats are targets. If you see a giant in the hills, that's the target, right?
Totally.
It's hard to avoid. So I don't know why it is that way, and I know that she was very cognizant of everything that around her and all the flack that she would receive, and there's a lot of detail and story behind a lot of the history of like some of the bad press that she's gotten and
Yep.
stuff like that I was privy to. And I think to sum it up real quick about that is that I think people have easily forgotten that she's a person.
Yep. I would totally agree
Simple and
with that.
plain. And it has nothing to do with like, oh, you know, these things have happened because she's human, no one's perfect. No, 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 no. It's just like straight up. They have absolutely forgotten that she is a human
A human
being.
Yeah.
To every like
Completely agree.
she's like something else to everyone else. She's either an object,
Yeah.
she's an idol, she's a, you know, like it's just all this other shit. Both positive and negative, right?
Totally, totally.
And that's the struggle that unfortunately women have to face coming up in this world. That's the you know, it's just.
Yeah.
And I was with her when this was really early on, before that video of like Nicki meeting her for the first time.
Yeah.
She had the talk with me. She was like, "Hey, what do you think about Nicki Minaj?" She just was asking me these random questions about Nicki. I was just like, I think she's dope. I think she could rap. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't, you know, like I don't love all her music, but I think she's skilled as fuck.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think that what she does is easy at all. I think she's technically proficient as a rapper.
Yep. As a rapper.
And she was like, well, you know, she hit me up. She wants to do a song. What do you think about that? I was just like, damn, I don't know. What do you think about that? You know, like that was my response. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, I guess that would be dope, but like how would you bridge that gap, you know? And then it turned into this really enlightening conversation, and she changed the way I viewed artists from that point forward, because I carried a little bit of that independent underground backpacking hip hop purist bullshit that I wasn't really known for that. I carried a little bit of that with me, but I was very judgmental towards certain artists. Like I was very harsh on Kanye. I obviously was right, but like at the
I'm
time,
a massive
like
Kanye fan.
yeah. Like he ends up being fucking. He's wilding out right now. I just got
Wilding
my
out.
name
He's
on the
wilding
ballot,
out.
and I saw his fucking name on the ballot. I'm like, how is this possible, fam? How is this possible? Anyway,
This is a thing. That's funny.
but she cleared up areas of fog in my lens as to how to view artists in this light, right?
Yep.
Being someone in that arena is completely different than just being
Yes.
a civilian or even like a popular indie artist.
Yes.
It's a completely different platform, and
Yes.
there's a whole level of scrutiny that comes with it. I mean, even for men, right? But
I agree.
specifically, it is a magnet for Black people.
Yep.
And I've been in the room with conversations between her and Chappelle when Chappelle was still in hiding. I've been in the room or around her and Yasin Bey, Mos Def, for those that don't know, talking about these very things, these very, very heavy concepts that these individuals have to face and, you know, kind of, you know, navigate. And it's really, really interesting. And I'll say this, a lot of stuff that I've heard from her, I've heard Kanye say very poorly. I think
Yes.
Kanye's a piss poor communicator.
He's really
But
bad at
the things
articulating
he has
often
been-
very good points.
Yes, he is saying something. He just
Yeah,
can't
he
say it.
is. I've said this so Glow and I have had so many conversations about this. He's articulating really great points very poorly.
Yes. And I've heard almost verbatim some of the same exact points. The only thing is that she has the other part of it as being a woman. So she eats more shit than he does, right? So
Yes, totally.
it's really profound. She's changed my perspective forever. I can never go back to it. It was definitely taking the red pill on that one.
I love hearing that. I actually had a really similar experience with my judgment of her, but through another person quite a few years ago. But there was a bunch of stuff that, like, criticism towards her, and I can't remember what had happened, but I think she'd been late to something, and, you know, people were up in arms again. And actually, Talib Kweli wrote like this piece, and he basically outlined a bunch of things that you just said there. And one thing that really stood out to me was he was saying that people forget that artists are really sensitive and very special human beings. And sometimes they need to be in the right frame of mind to go out and perform to 5,000 people. And if she's not in the right frame of mind, then she can't go out to, and that's like, she's not just a jukebox that you just stick your money into and out she goes, and she like, and it just stuck with me. I was like, that is 1,000%. Like, we forget that they're human beings, and maybe that, like, and yes, it's their job and all of those things, but like having a little bit more empathy sometimes with the different struggles, and it is a totally different a different life. And it's and now having the experience of working with a young artist that is in the spotlight and has millions of fans, and seeing what he's exposed to, it's like it gives you a completely different perspective. It's like, it is wild. I would not wish it upon anybody. I tell you that right now. It's
you have to be you have to be ready for it, and if you're not ready for it, it'll destroy you. That's why you see a lot of artists' lives are in shambles, because they weren't ready for it. The industry just chewed them up, spit them out. That's it.
And, Kiki was just saying yesterday, Kiki and I were talking about this yesterday, about there's a moment in the Katy Perry doco where she gets broken up with her husband. I think Russell Brand, she was married to at the time. He breaks up with her via text. She reads the text. She's like inconsolable. And then she just has to like get it together and just, performs to 20,000 people. Like, nobody knows. Or like, but the things that we expect of these human beings is sometimes super wild. I think they're just people like us.
even like something like I did an event in Minneapolis for Red Bull, and it was me and Blueprint. We arrived, I think it was me, Blueprint, and I forgot the brother's name. Damn. Either way, me and Blueprint are in the cab, right? We arrived at the same time, and he told me the story that and Blueprint like is a well-known independent rapper, and he was just like, anytime that he travels and people see like a piece of gear like through security, he just tells them that he's a DJ, because when you tell them that you're a DJ, they leave you alone. They're like, oh, okay, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. But if you tell them that you're a rapper, they expect you to rap on the spot.
Oh, and my God.
So he just goes around and just said, you're a DJ. I was like, yo, that is the dopest shit. And I started to borrow that. People were just like, hey, what do you do? It's just like, I'm a DJ. And they just let you pass. If you tell them if you're a producer, if you tell them you're a rapper, oh boy. Like, let me take your time. It's just like, fam, I gotta catch my flight.
I gotta go. I gotta catch you later.
It's just like, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I'd love to, cut it up with you, but like, I gotta go, like, fly this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
It's so funny.
There's a question that I get a lot on my Discord, and it's something that I like to ask my guests, because I think everybody deals with this really differently. But do you have dips in confidence when you're, not sure if what you're doing is amazing, or you're, in a weird patch, or do you suffer from any imposter syndrome stuff that I know a lot of artists suffer? Have you had those kind of dips in confidence before?
Oh yeah, I have it frequently. So because of what I do so many different things, right? I have a career. I'm a game developer in the gaming industry full time, and
we haven't even touched on that, by the way.
No, we haven't. So I do that full time. Yeah. So I just came off of a 3.5-year run of doing this really, really big project, and that took up most of my life. So I'm not able to write music all the time. So when I do, it's like sometimes it's months before I write something again. There's been times where it's legit been a year. And when I sit down and write my first beat, that's when it happens. I'm like, I suck at everything. why do I do this? Let me just sell everything in the studio and just that's it. I'm done. And it's basically that first garbage ass beat. Now I've kind of got a hold of it, so I know that I've made. I know that I have to, wipe the cobwebs off, shake off all the fucking rusty spots, and do it. And usually it takes like 1 or 2 bullshit beats, and then I make a banger.
Then you make it, yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm back, baby. And like, I'm running around the house yelling at my wife, like, I'm back, babe. And she's like, did you make a banger? I'm just like, I made a banger.
Yes. Hang on a second. I'm just going to open the door for my dog. Hang on a second.
Oh,
Sorry.
no problem.
Calvin couldn't get out. There you go. Go sit, Daddy.
I expected more of you, Calvin.
Yeah, I know. Jenna can open the door fine, but Calvin struggles with it.
So, but here's the thing, though. Like, I read something. It was like a conversation, but it was like somebody quoting something. It was just like, it was almost to the effect of just like, you haven't done everything you can do in your art if you're not terrified about releasing it. You know?
Awesome. I love that. I love that quote.
It's just like I'm paraphrasing. It really broke. It's not as clean as I remember it, but it's that I think every artist has that, and you're supposed to have it. And I think that's what keeps you in check. And I think that's what pushes you to be better, to achieve excellence, to push yourself harder as an artist. Like, you gotta be biting your nails every time you're like, I don't know, I gotta put this out, and I don't know how they're gonna take it, and blah blah. I don't think it's a lack of confidence. It's just the genuine, healthy ass fear.
Yeah.
It's like stage fright. I performed for years. That was like how I made a living. I just will go, just do tours and be on stage and promote shows and all this shit that I would be performing at, and every single night I'd be terrified, and I was good at it, and I knew I was good at it. I was a showstopper, in many regards, at every show that we would perform, and I was still terrified, even if we were the headliner and we sold out the venue. Terrified, and you're supposed to have that. If you're an artist and you have that, I don't know if. You shouldn't second guess yourself in that way, that deeply. I mean, continue to do it the way you do it, for whatever works for you. If you think that you suck and you just want to sell everything you own and just go live in the forest, fine. Do that as long as the next day you try again and then you make the heat. That's basically.
Totally.
So whatever the formula is, but I think that that's a normal thing. But I definitely go through it pretty frequently. But I've proven myself to myself so much that I don't get stuck in that rut, and I know that like when I am making something, that I'm gonna make something great. But without a doubt, and I laugh at myself. I always ask myself like, hey, did you lose it? Like, because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So I was just like,
yes.
did I lose it?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, and then I just keep trying, and then it's like a puzzle. That's basically what it is. So it's not that I made 2 whack beats. I haven't solved the puzzle yet.
Yeah.
And
I love that. It's Kiki said that though. It's the practice. You got to stay warmed with your craft. That's exactly what you're saying. And then you get that.
That's a bit.
You get the once you've been doing it for long enough, you get the understanding that this is just a patch. Like, I'm not going to stay in this forever. It's just a patch, and I can keep going, and you're going to get through it. It's totally fine. But that only comes with experience.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, and it's for me it's because I have to separate myself from each art to do the other art.
Yeah,
it's always that warm up. So like I practice so long in certain things that I know that once I get to it, I'll just kind of like how Mike Tyson started training again. Have you seen videos of him training?
I have.
And he looks like he's 30 years old now.
I know, it's wild.
It's kind of like that. It's just like it's muscle memory. You'll get back to it. Just you give it a few tries. But for me, it always feels like it's a puzzle. So I work it relentlessly like it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I walk away from it. I think about it. I contemplate like, why isn't it coming together? You know?
Steph just donated $15, so I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thank you so much, Steph. That's so lovely.
Thank you, Steph.
Thank you. I'm glad you're getting something out of the interview. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. Appreciate it. I'm looking at this footage right now of young me
what is
getting
this?
interviewed.
Young you?
Getting interviewed on some Orlando news channel. So this documentary is actually my experience. That's Omar Fendam. That's Narcy. Narcy's actually going to be on the show in a couple weeks.
Oh, cool. How old are you here, do you think?
This was like 11 years ago.
Baby face.
Yeah, look at that face. But so basically, this is the documentary I did about my experience in Egypt right after the revolution.
Oh wow, that must have been incredible.
Definitely life-changing. It's that's my anchor. That moment, that time in Egypt is my anchor. So anytime that people are stressing out because we're making it, we're like at the game studio. It's just like any other job, right? You get stressed out. It's just like we make a toy.
Yeah.
There's no
We're not
reason
curing
to stress,
cancer
right?
here, guys. This is like.
It's just chill out. Like it's not that serious, right?
I know.
And a lot of it comes from my experience of being there because I've seen a country upside down. I've been stranded without food and water for like a couple days.
Yep.
And we've set out, like there was like a little footage on my iPhone of like being outside of our apartment building, just with like everything from like a 12-year-old boy to like an 80-year-old man, all out there with just sticks and pipes and knives, waiting for a van of people to do a drive-by on us. Because we had to protect the neighborhood, and I was just like, well, if this old man's gonna be here and this 12-year-old's gonna be here, then I gotta be here. And that was the word. It didn't reach us, but that was the word. It was just like, there's a van driving around doing drive-bys, and we're out here to protect the neighborhood and all that stuff. So like, that's some real shit. If you watch the doc, you'll hear like me. You'll see like iPhone footage of me on the phone, and you'll hear machine gun fire in the background.
Oh my god.
That shit was real, and there was like
it definitely would totally change your perspective.
Yeah, there was like one night, legit, the block behind us, we're watching TV, we're watching the news, and then we hear a cannon go off, and it was a tank.
Oh my god.
A tank fired off at something. I have no idea what the fuck it shot, but it was the biggest fucking sound I've ever heard in my life, and it shook the entire building. And the entire building's made of stone. It's not like they didn't do wood frames,
So
and
when you're living like where you are now, and you're seeing people that are protesting like wearing masks because that's like a liberty of freedom or whatever, like that must drive you insane when you've seen what you've seen.
What do you mean, in what regard?
Well, you've got like you've been in a situation where there's like full upheaval and full life or death situations, and now you're living in America where there's people that are upset because somebody wants them to wear a mask. Like the contrast.
Oh, that part of it. Yeah.
Like the contrast in perspectives of people that have never experienced something like that. It's like you need to understand like reality.
Yeah, it's I don't think people here really have perspective, and the majority, unfortunately, I see some Mexican brothers and sisters who are racist as fuck, and that's like the most heartbreaking thing, because I usually when I talk about racism or any sort of social injustice, I associate black and brown, because essentially we're all a shade of brown, right? In some form, and it's becoming harder and harder to do that when you see some of these things. And I know that's not the majority. But like it's like it's fucking insane. It's kind of like also like a Trump supporter who's black, like the black white supremacist on the Chappelle show. Like that shit I can't even
Yeah.
comprehend either. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So
totally.
it's the same
Totally.
thing, right?
Yeah,
But
it's the same thing.
but the what we're mostly seeing is white privilege.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything else beyond that. That's them exercising their privilege, and that's why they could go out and protest with rifles and not get shot at.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like we could be out there shirtless with our, with our arms up. We still get shot at.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just-
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
bullet holes in the armpits is a very fucking common thing.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
So yeah, it's a heavy thing. It's a heavy thing to see, but it keeps me grounded. It keeps me leveled.
Yep.
Like I know what I'm looking at. I know like I try not to be enraged by it. I just kind of shake my head.
Yeah.
I'm not desensitized to it. I just know how to ingest it because I know what I'm looking at. It's ignorance, stupidity. It's a lack of education. So that's really what it comes down to. And I mean, it's kind of like during 9/11. That morning, my boy, one of my homies calls me. He's like, "Yo, World War III just started. Turn on your TV." I was like, "What?" I'm like, that was the phone call. I'm like half asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Turn on TV, and it was before LCDs. It was a boob tube, and it started to fade as the screen faded into into light. I saw the second plane in real time, or from a live feed,
From a
crash
live
into
feed,
the.
yep.
Yep.
I remember that moment
crash
so
into-
vividly. It's so
It-
wild.
Holy shit. So I went to every TV in our house, which had a VCR, and I started putting tapes in, and I was recording everything, and I was watching back, and it was just like, yeah, the common thing that was said over and over, just like, yeah, I'll give up my civil liberties. I'll give up my freedom to be safe.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, it was a bunch of white people saying that, but like,
Yeah.
it's just that kind of thing. It's just like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like there's like that weird association when it comes to that, because a white person to say that knows that they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't say that shit. Nah, we have yet to get our freedom in totality. It's just,
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
you must, if you feel like you're going to be okay going to prison, you got to be white. And the prison's
Yeah.
got to look like an IKEA cell, which is what it looks like in Norway. My wife shows me this, like a bunch of documentaries and stuff like that in our country and stuff like that. And their prisons, I don't know how it is in Australia, but the prison system over there,
Yeah, it's
like
quite
it's
similar.
basically, yeah, it's just like, it's basically all about rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it looks like an IKEA designed cell, and they have PlayStations, they have TVs,
Yeah. TVs and yeah. Yeah.
the whole nine. I'm just like, damn, man, this is amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like, one of your, like, you have such a positive aura about you, and you're very much about community and spreading positivity, even, despite all of these things that you've seen. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about your Twitch community and you starting on Twitch recently, and how you found your community of people, I guess.
I mean, this goes back to Soy, man. Like, Soy's the dude.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. I wanted to, like, I'm a real kind of structured sort of person. I think about the strategy, and I was strategizing, like, for the sake of, like, how do I find my place in this community?
Mm-hmm.
And Soy was my first, point of contact when it comes to this, right? Da Vinci's been like, in all honesty, it was really Da Vinci was just like, hey, you need to do it, just do it. And I wanted to do it my way, the right way, like have the cameras, have the look, everything that you saw, like just out the gate, this is what it's going to be. And I'll fix the other problems because I knew that there would be technical problems along the way. So philosophically, based on Da Vinci's advice, I did kind of follow it, but I did it my way. But in terms of community, because Soy was already on here, he was he was putting me on the game. You know, he was like a mentor to me in that regard. And lots of phone calls with Soy. Like I said, the man's generous.
He is
And
so generous.
I was like, when do you stream? And he was like, these are my days. Blah blah. I was just like, okay. I can only start doing it once a week. And if it wasn't for like me, I stream after Soy on a Saturday. That's what I used to do. I changed my schedule last week. Um, and if it wasn't for Soy rating me, I wouldn't have met any of these folks. If it wasn't for Soy shouting me out, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Van. I wouldn't have met Butter. I wouldn't have met any of y'all. And well, I keep thinking that Soy put me on the Butter, but apparently I put Butter on the Soy. So it's, but you get my point. Like, it had to do with like Soy being generous enough and really being about the community and wanting to build it up. And I take that shit seriously, man. That's why, like, when I was thinking about my schedule, I added a second day,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it was a Wednesday, and I saw that like it was you, me, and Van, and like everybody else streaming on a Wednesday. I was like, oh fuck, I need to change my day because
Yep.
I want to see you guys. You know, I want to see you guys stream when I can.
Yep. Totally.
And so I changed it to a Thursday, and but the whole moving concept behind my stream was like I want to be able to do what I love live, bring something to the table that hasn't been seen before, which is to mix records with guest artists live on my stream,
Mm.
like established artists, not like
Yep.
not just up and comers or somebody's garage band, so to speak. Um, and you know, I've built a lot of relationships throughout my time in the industry, and I just started tapping the shoulders of all my friends, like, hey, why don't you come on this show, educating the audience. And they were, you know, everyone, you know, shout out to Da Vinci, he was my first guest, and he was the perfect guest because you know, that's my brother from another mother, so like he knows.
Mm.
He's also very tech savvy, so if I was to have anything go bad that day, he would be the guy that could help me out. And but you know, the whole thing that I've been trying to focus on, and I called Soy today, and I was like, oh, I fucking get it. I figured it out. And he was like, what? I was just like, I know what I'm doing. He was like, what are you doing? I was just like, I'm teaching you how to mix like a producer. That's like going to be a part of my branding. And that is
Yep.
my branding, is that what I do on my channel is to teach artists how to mix like a producer, because that's really what you want to do. And some of the best artists and easiest artists I've ever worked with were producers in their own right, is because
Yep.
they had their vision, they knew what they wanted, and they guided you along the way, or they trusted you enough to take the wheel so that you could take it there, right? And
Yes.
Lauren's like that, Kasai's like that. There's so many artists I could name. Da Vinci's like that, Soliloquists were like that. They just were their own producers. So what I'm trying to do is not teach people how to, you know, if it was a literal thing to what I actually am doing, is not teach them how to mix like an engineer, is to teach them to mix like a producer, like an
Mm.
artist. And if they see the conversations that I have with the artists, they get a really good perspective and window into a session where I take it personal. I take it on. I don't talk about the music just from like a technical standpoint. I take it on as if like I'm the one that made this, like that my ass is on the line if the track doesn't sound good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And but the overarching thing, besides the Saturdays, because that's what the Saturdays are about. It's about that. The overarching thing, and it's really actionable within the Discord, is helping artists get better at their craft, no matter what their craft is. Now, right now, the majority of the studio gang, they're music producers and aspiring musicians, right? But it doesn't have to be limited to that, you know? It's
I was
really
just about to
about,
say that, like, from a person that's a non producer, non artist, when I come to your streams, like, it's so interesting. And I don't know anything. I don't know any of the technical stuff. I don't know what you're doing, but I'll sit there
Mhm,
for hours and just listen and listen to what you're doing, and
mhm,
you're tweaking and you're talking to the artist. And I find it fascinating personally. So, like, for everybody in chat, like, I really do highly recommend, you know, even if you think you're not going to, like, learn something that's going to be specifically for your craft, like, I still think you would find it really interesting. Like, I think I said to you once, you guys once, that for me it's like you're making magic. Like that's what it
Yeah,
feels like to me. It's magic.
we're conjuring magic for
Yes.
magicians to
Yes,
use. That's all
exactly,
we're doing.
exactly. It's so
It,
interesting to me. I love it. I love it. Um,
it's it's definitely something that like so it I said this the other day to Ganzi. I was texting him and we were talking about because Ganzi one of my moderators on the Discord and I forgot what I said. I was like, yeah, I want the Discord. I guess I was just giving him my speech. It's like I want the Discord, like my vision for it is like I just want it to be a place of excellence, but for all levels of skill, right? I don't want people starting out to be intimidated by being in the room. I don't want harsh feedback. I want positive, constructive, and encouraging feedback. And we need to start watering our plants,
yep.
and I just want it to be a place of excellence. And I was just like, it's just human decency to be excellent. That's what I
Yes.
said to him. And
Yes.
I
I
and
love
I
that.
and I mean that from like, be an excellent person, be an excellent husband, be an excellent, accountant, be excellent, like whatever the fuck you're doing, just be excellent at it, right? Because at that point, you end up doing the heavy lifting for whoever you're working with, whoever you're in a relationship with. You're carrying your own weight, and that's what it's about. And uh I just recently added Thursdays to
Hmm.
my Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. and Saturdays is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is all Pacific Standard Time. um and it's called the Thursday Official, and that's where I take the time to hang out with the community and give back. I do beat critiques, where people submit their music and I give them feedback on like how to make it better. And
Mm.
everything I do is really centered about giving very specific and actionable feedback so that they can get better.
Yes.
But
Yep.
it's not just technical, it's all about leveraging technical knowledge to facilitate the art. There's always
Yep.
an emotional motivation behind it. Anytime that I'm talking about mixing or producing, it's all about emotional intent. And I'm sure like
Totally.
with you like being behind the camera, and it's like this with me when I'm behind the camera, but you are a far better photographer than I am. um, you have all this technical knowledge, and you just keep that in your back pocket.
Mm.
It's reactionary to you. All you're focused on is capturing the moment, because no matter what I say, this is technically correct, this is a do, this is a don't, that shit don't fucking matter if you're not capturing the moment.
That's a
And
1,000%. I mean, I would say the technical stuff for me came very late. It's very, very intuitive. I talk about this a lot on my stream because I feel like there's a lot of creatives that think they need to know all of the technical stuff,
mhm,
before they can put out their art or before, they'll post. And it's like, what we're doing is we're creating something that, it might have like technical things that you need to know, but it's art and it's creation. And it's like,
mhm,
in that sense, like there isn't, the mistakes that you make along the way are just teaching you to be better. And what you said about positive reinforcement and all that sort of stuff, I'm so big on that. I don't like critiquing people really harshly. I like telling them what they're doing well and how they can improve in small ways. But like, definitely, like I think Soy said, we're about building up and not tearing down. Like I feel
yes,
exactly the same way, and I feel like that's why our communities are so similar in that regard. Is that we have that same kind of like encouragement and good vibes and
yep.
building and all that sort of stuff. It's just like the same type of vibe.
Yeah, I was cut from, or at least the fire in which I was forged from was from the place of harsh feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I received coming up. That's
Mm-hmm.
what sharpened my blade, was harsh feedback. Not in a way where I enjoyed it.
Mm.
I hated it. It was soul crushing every time. It made me question everything I was as an artist, who I was as a person. It was destructive, in all honesty. And to some regard, that's kind of why there was a lot of really dope rappers during the fucking golden era, during the lyricist era of hip hop. It's because it really did come from that. There's a lot of sharpening because it was harsh. It was harsh
Yep.
terrain. If you were whack, you were told to your face you were whack. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm.
you didn't come correct or whatever the case. So to some degree, there is merit in that. But when you're trying to grow those seeds, right?
Mm.
And let's just say that the youngest generation right now, or the people who are very new to it, um, those are the seeds. You
Yep.
can't be harsh with delicate plants.
Yes, I agree.
They're too fucking young for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, like for example, like back in the day, if like when I first met Soy, if I was really harsh with him about the things he needed to improve on, I don't know how he would have took it. Maybe he would have took it well. Soy is just uniquely special in that way. But
Yes.
Soy now, I could just flat out tell him, like, just straight up to his face, like, this is what I think you're doing. Like I told
Mm.
him the other day in this stream, he's such a fucking good sport. I love you, Soy. Let me just take a moment to say that. I,
Hearts
he
for
was
soy.
he was doing his drum challenge for my Discord on his stream, and I was like, yo, what if I was like, son, why aren't you doing this on like on the regular? And he was just like, I don't know, blah blah. And I just flat out just gave him feedback. I was like, I think you're holding back. I could just flat out tell him that, and
Yeah.
he just took it, and he was just like, he didn't take it like, I'm gonna take this shot. He stopped and he thought about it. He's like, I don't know, and we kind of had this conversation, and he just handled it so gracefully, and it's
Yep.
because he's not a little fragile plant anymore. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Not that he
exactly,
ever was
exactly.
really, but like
And also having
he's got
the
strong roots.
yeah, strong roots, and also having the respect and relationships and the trust, because he trusts you.
Yeah.
He knows that you're not telling him that to break him down. It's like there's special people
Yes.
that you have
Yeah.
those relationships with, that you're able to tell those sort of things to, and I have those relationships with a few people as well. But they're not at the start of their career. They're not the people that are learning, and it's specifically like the reason that I built my community, and it's there's a lot of young female photographers in my community, and
Mm,
often women don't respond to super harsh criticism, especially when they're starting
no.
out. So
Right.
and it was around when I started, and for me, I'm not super affected by that stuff, but a lot of people are. So it's to
Yeah.
create a community of nurturing and safety, and you can put your art out, and it's okay, and we will all learn together, because the more amazing artists there are, and as much as the level in the community is rising, and I'm seeing it in 6 months. I cried on stream the other day because I'm
Hmm.
seeing how good these people are getting week in, week out. It's actually
Yeah.
affecting me emotionally, because as the levels are rising, the talent's rising, everybody's rising to the occasion, like everybody's getting better
Yeah.
together. Like that can
Yep.
only be a good thing. We're creating this new generation of awesome artists. And yes, they'll get to a point
Yes.
where the critiques can be harsher and the critiques can be more specific. But
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
beginnings, like you said, planting the seeds, creating that, growing up from the roots. I love that. I just completely 1000% agree.
And that's what I feel like I'm seeing in your community. That's what I feel like I'm seeing in Soy's community. That's what I feel like I see Vandu in his community.
Hmm.
And like I that's just all that I really try to aspire to be, is like to follow the example that you guys kind of have set, and the other people even before you, so to speak, that I've met in my
Yes.
life that have set that example. And me just recently launching the Discord and just out the gate just saying, all right, we're going to do this drum challenge.
Mm.
Because and the reason I specifically picked this, because that's really what kind of can make or break you as an aspiring producer, right? I was like, can you actually create a groove, you know? And that's the thing that I just wanted to create something that we can really just attack at the core, at the foundation, get back to basics, help people improve from there, so that they have a solid foundation to stand on moving
Mm.
forward, you know. And it's, at least for me, it's very very deliberate. I don't do things incidentally, and it's not for me. It's not for my ego. It's for the community. And I know it's easy for anyone to really say that, but really, I don't fucking need to do it. It's more work for me to do, to be a part of that and to conduct that kind of thing. But
Yep.
I'm just so inspired by everybody there and the submissions that we have. And this
Yes,
is
me
just like our first
too.
event. It's just the first event that we've done, and the submissions that we
It's
have
so
are so good.
inspiring. I
It's
know.
so good. I'm just like, shit, do I need to make one? I think
Yes.
I need to make one.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
keeps you on your toes. You're like, holy shit, the kids are coming through. I better like I gotta step
Yeah.
up my game.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. I was just
it's
like,
good. I love it. It's amazing.
it's the greatest thing. And I didn't think it was going to, like I said, I didn't anticipate this and I didn't expect this. And I'll say this, in just the 2 months that I've been on Twitch, it has given me more than the last 10 years on Instagram. And that's my main platform besides,
Yes.
Twitch in
would
terms of social media.
completely agree. Completely
It's,
agree.
it's just not the same. And I've been telling that to other peers, like, who are like really interested in what I'm doing and all this stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, man, I was like, for every one person that follows you or even subscribes on Twitch is like having 10 to 100.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, that's
The
why there's
value
a
is so much
celebrate
higher.
the celebratory dance when there's a subscription is like
Yeah.
this is like people are genuinely seeing value in the content that you're creating and showing
Yeah.
that, and there's not enough, quite frankly, not enough celebrations or you know, thanks that we can give because it is so valued, especially at this time, especially for me at a time that I can't shoot and I can't do what I love, that there's people that are wanting to subscribe to my channel and wanted to support me in that way. Like there's not enough thanks in the world. Like it's just like
Right.
insane. And what up to
No.
Devon as well. I'm just seeing Devon in the chat. I just wanted to give him a shout out because without Devon,
Peace,
I
Dev.
wouldn't have known. I wouldn't know Soy, and that's how the introduction started. So
Oh, word? Oh, okay. That's what's up.
oh, we've just got a
Good.
subscription as well from Billings. What up?
What up?
Good timing.
Welcome to the fam.
Welcome to the crew. Thank you so much. I really have
That's
to
what's up.
move that alert box. That's really massive. And I have to make that a bit smaller. I
It's
moved it on the
yeah.
other one and not this one.
Is this
There we go.
new? I feel like I
It's
haven't seen
new.
this one
I
yet.
did it last
okay.
night. I spent all this time on my alert, so that one is really big. But thank you so much.
I did the same thing. Like all of I'm transitioning.
Our
all my
precursor just
alerts.
subscribed as well.
Did he do? That was up.
Guys, thank you so much.
Boom.
Oh my god, you
There
guys
you
are
go.
the best. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I changed all of my alerts to the Last Dragon, or we're in the progress of doing that.
Oh,
We're in
it's
process
a
of
whole, it's a process,
Yeah.
and some of them aren't
It's a massive
working. And
process.
Uja,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Just said that they were liking my overlay. Thank you. It's very much my aesthetic. So I was very specific with my
I gotta give you
overlay
some props
request.
because I borrowed some ideas from your overlay.
Oh, you did. Billings has just gifted 2 subs as well.
Oh,
Thank you
do
so
it,
much.
fam.
Just gifted to Sir
Boom.
Jack and Scott, Alex Mills as well. Thank you so much, Billings. Billings is a new member of the community, so like, thank you for being here and thank you for your subs.
This
So
is-
appreciated.
Billings
It's
is
all
just setting
happening.
it off right now.
He is setting
Yeah.
it off. So
He
good.
said, "I'm not wasting any time. I'm not wasting any time. I'm gonna get
that's
me
what-
a sub, gift
Yeah.
subs. Yeah. Let's just do it. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, when I was going for the music's still playing on the subs too, but you know, when you talk about that like hip hop aesthetic and like the things that I sent my designer was like, I want it to look this certain way, I want it to feel this certain way, these are the colors that I want it, and she just nailed it. So I was like super stoked. It's definitely very me, which is cool.
Yeah, it's super clean. I mean, and I love it. Like I borrowed your whole like latest followers and
Yes.
the frame.
The frames.
I was like, oh, that's
yeah.
kind of. I was like, yeah, because if you look at my goals, next time you're on there, when you look at my goals have the frame with the title right in the
Oh.
center.
I'm gonna
You
look
inspired
next time. I love it.
Yeah,
I
you
love that.
inspired.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the best thing about Twitch is like you do go to other streams and get completely inspired.
Yeah.
By what you
No,
see, which I do all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Besides what I do, like on my stream, being a streamer, I am a student. I am
Yes,
learning from
same.
all of y'all.
I'm
All of you
mainly
guys are
learning
teaching me how to
from
drink.
Devon. I don't know if you've hung out too much in Devon's streams, but
I
he is
haven't had the
my
chance yet.
he and TLD are my two favorite streamers, and they're just it's goals.
Dope.
Like they're just they have that great thing of like being able to entertain the whole time, which I love. It's just so
Oh,
awesome.
word? Okay, all right. Now I'm
Yeah,
down with
this is
that.
an entertainment stream with like they're doing stuff and they're like it's like photography and us and Devon's is like design and directing related as well. But then just the funniest thing ever. So it's so good. It's
That's awesome.
awesome.
No, I'm gonna check you out, Devin. I think I'm already
Yes.
following Devin. I
Yes.
think I might have subbed, but
Yes.
I'm
He's
gonna
the
come
best.
spend some time with you, fam.
We've got a few more minutes left. It's been really
Sure.
hard to ask the questions. Been a few questions in the chat, but if you want to specifically take this time now to ask X some questions, I will take the time to read them out. It was really I didn't want to interrupt too much because the conversation was flowing really nicely, so I didn't want to interject too much. But if you've got a question, please ask X now. The other thing I wanted to ask you was do you have any advice for people entering the industry? Because, Kiki asked, are our dads the same guy because you look just like my brother? That's
Oh man,
amazing.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I hope not. Like, that'd be weird.
She posted a photo in the general Discord. I have to get this up and see
Are
if I
you
can.
serious? Oh, I need to see that.
I'm going to pull it up. Let's see if I can. Hang on a sec.
You sound like you have a beautiful family. Let me tell you.
Yes, she does. I already know she does. So see if I
I
can
need
get
to
it up.
I need to see this photo of her brother. That's gotta be
Alright.
crazy.
Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can switch to the screen without it crashing. Let's have a look.
What channel did she post it on?
I'm gonna put it in the stream. It's in the general chat in my Discord. Here we go. Hang on. Did I just lose X from doing that? Hang on a sec. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I just lost X. Did we just lose you? He's back.
I'm back.
You're back.
So,
we lost.
I clicked general and it was the general voice chat and I was like, oh come on, fam. In the middle of the
That's
stream.
so funny.
That's
so funny.
amazing.
Could you see now? I think I've got it up on the.
I can see. I look nothing like him, but he is a handsome guy.
He is a handsome guy. There's a slight resemblance. This is Kiki in the
Is
middle
there?
here.
Hold on. Let me get.
The second, have a look at the second. I've pulled it up in the stream.
As long as I don't hop into your voice chat, then I'm good. So, oh, there. I can say. Hold on. So, what's your ethnicity? That's what I want to know.
She's Greek.
Oh, is she Greek?
She is. Yeah.
That's funny. So my father's from
Similar vibes,
Alexandria.
then.
My father's from Alexandria, and he actually he speaks Greek.
Oh wow.
Believe it or not, he's from
So I
Alexandria,
said,
Egypt.
did
and
you
he speaks
guys? So I just said, did you guys buy your beards from the same guy? That's amazing. Devin asked if how many
the
years
same
have
guy
you
that
been?
won't sell you a beard, soy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Devin asked how many years have you been a producer? We didn't. I'm not sure if we touched on that at the start. If the actual
No, because I give long-winded answers. I'm the worst at like trying to keep it short. I've
it's
been
good.
producing. I've been producing since shit. Oh man, what the hell did I say? I think it was 26 years.
Oh wow, that's wild. That's so cool. That's awesome.
I started super young. I started like when I was like 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
I was selling beats when I was 15. That's how I built. Actually, that's how it all started for me building up my studio. I would sell beats. Random strangers would be coming to my house, and my parents were like, "What's our son doing? What the fuck is happening?" And I'd be selling beats right out of my bedroom.
I love that. I love that.
And that's how I built it. I didn't buy anything. I wasn't into like, I used to be into clothes before that, right? And then I just stopped buying clothes, and it was fucking perfect because it was the 90s era. So like dingy, you know, dusty looks was like that was the
It was the
shit.
vibe.
So
Yeah, that was the vibe.
yeah, it was the vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like it worked out. Like I would say tons of sacrifice. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been doing it for a super long time. Um, I definitely wasn't always great. I would say I
Yep.
probably started out like above average. You know, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I probably had something special, but I don't think that I was always great.
Yep.
I learned to be great. The people around me made me great.
Yep.
And I mean the positive reinforcement, not like all the harsh feedback that I got. Like I was a part of a crew. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be as good of a rapper as I became. If
Yep.
it wasn't for them, I wouldn't aspire to be the best, you know, beat maker as I possibly could have been. And I wouldn't have like tried to learn how to like really produce our records so that it sounded good. It was because those guys were so amazing. I was like, yo, I need to do this. It was really, it kind of goes back to really what this is all about on being on Twitch is being of service.
Yep. I completely agree.
Even though like when I was young, I was cocky, I was arrogant, you know, and competitive, and you kind of have to be to kind of keep up in a way.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but like in a really harsh environment, I feel like you develop those reflexes.
It's
But
also part
in
of the
all actual,
culture as well. Like part of hip
it
hop
is.
culture is that whole braggadocious kind of vibes.
Yeah, you have to use your ego to survive, right?
Yes.
And instead of and then when you get older, you start to learn to use your ego as a tool,
Mm-hmm.
especially for being like an MC.
Yep.
You got to know when to use it as a tool, because you can't go into the booth or on the stage rapping not having any confidence or being cocky about it. You kind of
Yeah.
have to use that as a tool
Yep.
to get you, you know, to perform.
It's that balance,
yeah.
isn't it?
It is. It really is. It's tough to explain too. I don't
Yeah.
think I explained it very well, but it's definitely there. But yeah. Sorry. Next question.
Yeah. Steph said, how do you divide your time between your different passions? Do you just have to divide your time evenly, or are you just aware of the time that needs aware of what needs your attention more?
That's basically the way it works. Whatever is calling for my attention the most is what I end up spending most of my time with. But I've been getting a lot better at like trying to balance my personal life, my work life. It's a work in progress. I'm sure my wife has her opinions, but but and I mean from like my full-time gig to like doing this kind of stuff, it's you have to, like, for whatever you want to build and grow, you're going to have to invest time into it, and the more time you invest into it, the more growth you're going to see. So
sorry, my dog's
and this is
been causing ruckus behind me. Keep going.
oh, is he? Yeah.
Just,
It's all good.
just having a wrestle on the ground.
Oh yeah, shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? WrestleMania.
WrestleMania in my stream room right now.
But yeah, that's basically it. I just try to. It's kind of like what I talk about every project has its own voice, and it's really about you having the capacity to listen or learning the skill of listening to that voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of use that skill to listen to what art needs me the most, because I'm always working on something, and right now, like, it's focused on, you know, developing the next project at the game studio, and then working on this stuff. Like, I haven't been really writing a bunch of music, my own stuff. It's mostly about doing what I'm doing on Twitch and trying to be of service to the community and building up the Discord and making sure that I'm planning ahead to like what's going to be the next thing that we should do community wise. So
once
and
you
you're seeing
start
a lot
streaming, oh yeah, like I find this a full-time job, just and talking to other streamers and like the people that I'm really close with, just brainstorming ideas. I talk to my mods a lot about like what would be cool to do on stream, like constantly trying to innovate and keep it, you know, have cool guests on and all those things. Like, it's a full-time job, just like working out what to stream. Yeah.
Yep. You just described it to the T.
It is. It's like I don't know if people that don't stream like understand that, but it is like it's always on my mind. It's the one thing I'm talking to my husband about the most because he's like always lurking. I'm like, what do you think I could do better? And what like it's
Yeah.
just like on my on my whole brain at the moment.
My wife so like texted me like, "Hey, your mic's off." I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I come downstairs and I'm like, "Man, today's stream was awesome." Blah blah blah. Stream, Twitch.
Yes,
All day long, and she's just like, God bless her. She just listens. She's like, "Oh, that's dope." Blah blah blah.
Yes.
I mean, she participates, but like
Jarvis is the same. He's so good.
It's oh man, I can only imagine. It could probably be a little much sometimes because they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
also too, I think for me, because I'm not shooting, like I'm so busy usually. Like I would have 4 or 5 shoots a week and then have to edit those, and so to have that taken away because I literally can't work at the moment. This is my focus, so it is just 100%. So yeah, I do think I'm driving him a bit crazy. Just like, what can I do? Is this good? What about this? Like every time we go for a walk, because we do this, he's just like,
yes.
Yep, okay,
oh my God.
whatever.
You're describing my life. That's exactly it. We
I'm
go
so
for
glad.
walks. I'm like, so this is what I'm thinking, right? Blah 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 blah. And she's just like, can we just walk? I just want to walk.
I'm like, what about this? What about this for Twitch channel points this week? And maybe like you, and he's like, maybe I could pop in and do an appearance. And like, this literally is our life. So it's this is funny. I'm so glad you relate.
It's so, oh my God, it's so accurate. I wish she was in the room right now with us.
I know,
Just
to
like,
hear.
just looking at the camera like, that's all she would do. She'd look at the camera like,
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's behind the scenes of being a streamer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And that, like, I was going to say, because Sir Jack Hunter asked about adapting our life to the new COVID world, or adapting your life to the new COVID world. So I think this is one of the ways. But continue.
What have I done to adapt?
Yeah, like how have you adapted? Just your whole workflow and stuff with the world.
we as a studio, I'll just say it. So I'm the dialogue department lead at Naughty Dog Inc. Naughty Dog Games. So if you guys are gamers and you know who we are, everyone works from home, just like most of the technology industry, and because I've come up most of my life being in the studio and kind of not seeing sunlight for like a few days, I'm totally okay with it. I do get cabin fever here and there, but because I'm a studio rat already, it's sort of it's the norm for me.
It's the norm, yeah. I feel like.
But Twitch has really been my social time. That's the most social I get, aside from dealing with my team and stuff like that at work. But yeah, that's about it. For for my wife and people who are not studio rats, that's a different thing.
Let me just check one more thing. Who are my mods in the chat at the moment? Can someone get Steph's points back? Give Steph's points back to her that she redeemed a visit for Jarvis, and I need to summons him. Hang on a sec. He's like, hang on. He's saying Jarvis! He's got too much to do, but he's got to leave for Budapest in like 24 hours. But I'm just trying.
Oh jeez.
I'll see if we can get his face on. We might be able to do by the end of the stream. Oh yeah, I'll just tell him that Stewie has requested.
So you have a reward to
yes, a redeeming for a Jarvis visit. Jarvis has to show his face.
That's amazing.
It's quite new. He's a well-loved member of the stream.
Awesome.
We'll see if he shows up. Otherwise, I shall. No, Budapest definitely isn't within 5 kilometers, but he's taken a job. He's taken a job there. I don't know if I'm going to get him today. We might have to be refunding these.
Sorry, fam. You're not going to get Jarvis. And shout out to Jarvis for being named Jarvis.
Oh, right.
Like,
such a good name. I know.
It's such a great name, especially after Iron Man and the Avengers and all that shit.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Jarvis, man? We all know Jarvis.
We totally do. I'll get your points back, guys. I'm so sorry about that. He like usually he's a very good sport, but so he's got to finish a project before he leaves in like on Thursday. So he's yeah, very very busy today. I shall definitely check that. So we had another great question, which I just want to scroll up.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yes, it was from Hash. How do you work through any creative or writer's blocks? Do you get those points where you just like, I can't do anything?
So, okay, I'm gonna. I don't know how to give you a short answer. In general,
it doesn't have to be short.
I don't know. Just... so, there was one thing that I learned really early on because I started out rapping and then started making beats, right? So I had to do both, but I never did both simultaneously. Never made a beat. I can't say never, but it wouldn't usually be like that. I would make a beat, then write a rap to it. No. I would just go through like beats. And then when I would hit a block, which is what I call beat block, I would try and just like, fuck. And I would just turn off the MPC and just erase everything. And then I was like, it's time to write. That's why I have a block. I'm blocked here. That means I have my energy shifted somewhere else. And I would literally just start writing and it would just be flowing.
Yeah.
So for me, because now I've added to the amount of, I added to my hat collection. If I'm blocked in one area, I just go do something else. But the reason why I said I can't give you a short answer is because this is the most important part. You need negative space. It is okay to do nothing. And you probably should do nothing.
I need to listen to this. I need to listen to this lesson. I'm very bad at this, so continue.
So am I. However, it's hard for me to find that dead end where I have to do nothing. It's usually based out of exhaustion or my wife telling me like, yo, you need to chill, you know?
To chill, yeah.
She's the queen of chill. That's she is a master at it. I learned this when I was working with Lauren. It's probably some of the hardest work I've ever done in my life at that time. We would work like almost what it felt like 24/7. We would start sessions at 12 in the afternoon and be done at 6:30 a.m. And we would do this for days and days at a time. And I'm just like, I don't know when I'm gonna do laundry. So this is a problem. And then we'd have those days where we had a proper day off. And, you know, we were like in she had a dope compound, right? So like, it's basically a mansion for all crew and band members to stay in. And there was this, you know, I was just sitting on the couch in this massive house and just was looking up at the ceiling, and I was like, I don't feel any guilt right now for not being busy because I'm so fucking exhausted and I'm so creatively satiated.
Yeah.
I need this rest so that I can do it again. So that's when I learned that like you really do need negative space. Again, I'm very bad at it, and it's very hard for me to find things to run out of things to do. But it is really that's an important thing. So like, I guess the main message is like just know when to rest because you probably need it.
Yes, 100%. I think I can hang on. There you go. I've just given their points back. Good. I'm really, really, really bad at it. And I mean, I've always used it, especially in times like this. I have a constant anxiety to keep busy and creating, and it's definitely what really fueled me to do Twitch and set up Twitch and working so hard with Glow on getting that, especially in the first couple of months. Like, shout out Glow. We worked like so many hours a day to get this up and running in the first few months, and he's like a bloody legend status.
Hmm.
But it was that anxiety that just it just drives me to continue, and I'm really, really bad at just stopping sometimes. And I think it's really good advice because sometimes you can get burnout. But if you're ever feeling that, just I can't, like I just can't. There's nothing creative coming out of me. Then I definitely think a break is a really, really good, a good idea for sure.
Yeah, doing nothing is doing something. That's a part of it.
It's
Like,
refueling often, so
yep,
get those energy levels back up. It's super important.
yep. And for like, I don't know, I being in the industry, I barely have time to play video games. So when I'm feeling that, I'm like, oh, I get to play this video game guilt free.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yes, let's go.
Like, it's kind of like working out. Like, if you get like in a healthy workout regimen and you have a cheat day, that cheat day is guilt free, fam. Especially
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
like,
totally.
you're really planning it and it's a part
Yeah.
of like your metabolic shock to your system so that
Yes.
during the week when you're good, you're doing well. When you're
Yes.
eating like shit that one day, it feels fucking awesome. I did that shit this weekend, man. Fucking awesome. We had
Hell
pancakes at 10
yes.
o'clock at night.
So good. So he's saying that
So, yeah.
you're a t-shirt generator with all of your quotes that you're dropping today. So doing
Yo,
nothing
it's
is
fu-
everything. That's the best. That's the best quote.
Yo,
That's so good.
that day I made when I said that shit about to Ganzi about like just it's just human decency to be excellent, and then me telling Soy that he held back. He was just like, I think I'm emulating my heroes. I was like, fuck your heroes, you know. And he laughed at me at
That-
on the shit. He was just
Fuck your heroes 100% needs to be a t-shirt. That is
it is. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
that is.
I made like 3 t-shirts that day. So if you go to X144 Live and go to the Studio Gang merch, you'll find
Bro.
Fuck Your Heroes, Be Your Own.
Yeah, that's gonna be purchased today, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be coming
It's
in the
just
mail.
yeah. It's just human decency to be excellent.
Yeah.
And the other one is don't be afraid to bring the music to music.
I love it. I think
Because
yeah, sorry, go.
yeah, go ahead, sir. No,
No, you go.
that's mostly from the fact of just like sometimes heads make music that, and because Okito said this on Saturday, he said I was making music that I felt that other people would like instead of making the music I would like, and a lot of the times it comes with at the cost of holding back on your musicality. Soy is super musical, and he's highly skilled, and I was just like, why are you holding back? And that's where like the whole fuck your heroes thing came from. But like, don't be afraid to bring music to the music, because like there was this producer that was in this having a listening session with some major megaton producer, right? And they played the records and they were just like, you brought too much music to the party. And he's like, and that term has always stuck to me, and I was just like, oh shit. So basically what he was saying is that the song was too musical, you need to dumb it down. So
Yes.
I'm trying to encourage the opposite. Bring the fucking music to the fucking music.
Yes, yeah,
bring it.
yeah.
Bring the
Bring
art to the
it.
art. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's really, yeah. So yes.
I
Quotables all
love
day.
it. Quotables. Well, I think that's a really lovely place to end. We've taken up so much of your time today, and I really, really appreciate it.
I'm all
show
about it.
all
I
the love
appreciate
in
you
the
having
chat, please, please, please. If you are not following X, please do that immediately. I'm just going to do a shout out now. So you can do that and check out his merch store as well. I think a bunch of us are going to cop those t-shirts this afternoon. That's on my list.
I appreciate it. I
On my
appreciate
list.
it.
Sir
Yeah,
Jack.
man.
That's so funny. I read Sir
follow
Jack.
us.
I read Sir
what is
Jack's. He said, "I want to fuck your hero's hat," and I read it as, "I want to fuck your heroes." And he's like, "Let's make one that says, have intercourse with your heroes." That's amazing. That's so funny.
I might do a limited run of that shirt.
Yes, please, please. That's so funny. That's so
Have
great.
intercourse
Thank you.
with your heroes.
That's like consensual though, guys. Let's keep it. Make sure everyone's
Yes,
okay with
yes.
it.
Sign an agreement and record it.
So yeah, exactly. A massive thanks to all of the people in your community that were here today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I see you
Shout out
guys.
to Studio Gang. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out to the studio gang. It's really really great to have you guys over here. Hopefully we'll see you in another one of the streams soon. But it's such a pleasure. We haven't I've been hanging out in each other's streams. It was great to get to know you a little bit better and obviously know that you're a solid human. And I can't wait till we can meet in real life at one point when we get to hang out in LA at some stage when this thing is over.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's what I'm excited about. Is this to be over and me to hang out with all my Twitch fam.
That's what we just need to have our own little TwitchCon. Just
just the cool people only.
That's it. We need to cut. You know what I really want? I'm planting the seed now. We officially need to come up with a name for our collective.
A collective. Oh, I am so in on this. I am so in on this. Yeah.
Something gang or something
umbrella.
You know, like it just we need some umbrella because like me and Soy like merged our shit.
The real MVPs. That's actually pretty cool. The real MVPs.
Stoodle
I like.
Gang.
Stoodle Gang.
Real MVPs. Stoodle Gang. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Stoodle Gang Crew. What about that?
Stoodle Gang Crew. But then we're like Stoodle Gang Crew Mania.
Oh yes.
And then like it's the name's gonna be enormous. It'll be enormous. But we really do need to come up with it and like I'm really all about like
Umbrella Academy. Oh my god, Glow always comes up with the best names. Umbrella Academy, that's legit.
Yo, shout out to Globe. I haven't seen Globe in a minute. What's up with you, Globe?
He just popped in. He just popped in. He just popped into the stream. Yes. He's very good at coming up with these things, by the way.
Yo, Globe, I need to see you here Thursday. We hanging, fam.
We're hanging, exactly. Can I just say, I know that your streams has been a really big inspiration for Glow, and that makes me really happy as well, because he is an incredible music producer himself, and he wasn't doing that for a long time, and I know that watching you guys and just like finding his people that are doing it has really inspired him, and it makes me really happy, and it warms my heart very much.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That means a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I haven't seen Globe in my chats in a minute, so I guess
his day job's really under the grind at the moment, so
I hear that. No, hey man, get money, and when you got time, come hang.
Come and hang. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Join the Discord if you haven't already. Glow and everybody.
Where is your link? Hang on, I'll see if I can find it on the. Can you put it in the chat?
I will if your thing won't like block me for show.
No, definitely won't block you. You can put links in the chat, no worries. I think you can. Anyway, we'll see.
I can. We'll try.
Right, so I just said Glow shocked the hell out of me when he showed me his beats. This is what I'm saying. This man is so talented.
Oh yeah, I was around for that. I was like, what the fuck is this? What's Glow doing right now?
Some of the advice that you gave to Soy, I like to give to Glow as well. Don't be holding back. Don't be holding back. Show the world your talent.
Yeah, man. Hey y'all, Michelle, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
My absolute pleasure.
And it
was super fun.
I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to hang out, and check me every Saturday on Twitch, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and come hang. Just a good time, and join the Discord, and you can message me with questions and all that jazz, or just participate in the community. It's all about growth. Let's do it.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it. What's your Instagram? We've just got asked as well. Drop that in. Do all the things so people can link as well.
It's at X144 on all things social. So IG is actually all things. Just boop at X144 on all things social. And let me see. You know what? I have a link tree. I'm an adult.
Do the link tree. I don't have one. I need to do that as well.
It took me forever to do that shit, and I feel like such an like an organized individual because of it.
It's very,
Um,
very good. I love it.
Let me see. Boom. Those are all the things. That's my so
Soy.
check the link tree. Yeah. What soy is
Soy.
it?
Unfollowing just to follow again. I love it. You get your
Oh,
notification
shit.
as well.
That's what I do to my wife's posts on Facebook. I unlike and relike and unlike and relike.
That's cute. For those who are hanging around, my Thursday stream is going to be editing all of your raws. So if you put the raw file in the Discord, you'll see it in the raw challenge. I'm going to edit your files on stream on Thursday. We're just going to hang out and have a bit of fun. It's going to be really great. It's going to be
That's super dope.
Thursday. What time did I say? I can't remember if I think I said noon. I just make it up as I go at the moment, but because I've got so much time. I actually said 10 a.m. We're gonna do a morning. We're doing a morning. I keep the days the same, and I just move the times around. We're gonna do a 10 a.m. stream on Thursday. We're gonna do a morning stream, so I can hang around for a few hours, and it's definitely not too late to submit at all. You've got another couple of days, so it's in my Discord. It'll be in the raw photo exchange. I'll drop my Discord link as well.
Damn.
If anyone
I
wants
might
to
submit
join,
for that.
yeah, totally. The more, the better.
What time? What time is it for us?
For you, it will be
Yeah.
7, 6, 5, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. your time on Wednesday afternoon. Oh my god, my brain just broke. 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, but I'll be streaming for a few hours, so that really hurt my brain. I can't. This is
I'll take a look at my my Lightroom and see what I got.
Yeah,
I'd like to see
absolutely. That would be super fun. I just I've got nothing to edit at the moment, so some of the mods suggested that would be a cool thing to do, so we're going to do that on Thursday.
That's super cool. That's
lots of fun.
It's actually similar to what I'm doing this Thursday. So the winner of the drum challenge, I'm actually going to be processing their drums.
Oh, awesome!
Live on stream. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's actually really dope. I feel like that feels like something that you have been doing for a while, and this is.
I've done it before actually, but like a while ago. So it has been a while since I've actually edited. I did it maybe a couple of months ago, but it was really well received just to see, I guess, and because my process is a lot simpler than I think people think as well. So I think it's just refreshing to see that, you don't need all the bells and whistles. I'm like simple. Yeah. As long as I think it's dope, then I'm happy with it. So Soy, loving the hoodie. We are repping you today, my friend.
Yeah, that shit is dope.
It is dope. It's super dope.
Soy.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll say goodbye to everybody. We'll see you guys in the Discord. Really appreciate it. Catch you guys later. See you on the flip side. Bye.
Flip side.
Bye.
Peace.